This is Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. It's a Monday morning. Ayokunmi here. Time to take a look at the news making the rounds in the world of business because this is Business Express. Welcome along to the journey with us. You can join us because it's an interactive session, as it always is. You can send your messages in to us on WhatsApp on 0809 444 0981. You can also join us on the live stream because you can find us on YouTube streaming live right there at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Joining me this morning to take a look at the news and making the rounds is Oladele. She's the founder of the Money with Club. Ola, good morning to you. Welcome to Business Express.
Good morning, Aya.
Absolute pleasure to have you on the show. And I hope the gremlins stay out of our connection this morning so that we can get through our news stories. And of course, there's a lot to actually talk about this morning. Let's actually begin talking about one of the big deals, should I say, coming out today, and that is President Tinubu to swear in a newly appointed ministers. That's supposed to happen today. Seven newly appointed ministers, will be sworn in. That's according to Bayo Ononuga, the special advisor on information and strategy to the president. This is going to happen. I mean, after the revelations of who the new ministers would be, and so on and so forth. And just right off the bat, what do you think about this change in leadership? Is it going to bring the desired change that we need? Is it going to, shake things up a bit? What are your thoughts? Are you there, Ola?
Nigeria, I can only hope. Clearly. Uh-oh.
You're going in and out. Okay, seems like you're back now. Seems like you're back now.
Okay, so I was saying, I've switched up my video. I was saying that we can only hope that it will bring the real change or the desired change, what we need as a nation, because in my own opinion, there's still a lot more ministers that should have been taken out. Let's try other people. But I mean, this is good in the sense that hopefully it will put other ministers on the edge to want to deliver because some people have been taken out. So let's assume it was the bottom seven that were taken out and are being replaced. It will give some people who knew they were close to that a reason to step up. So on that front, I think it is good. We also have some interesting names there of people that should that we expect good things from. So hopefully, we would begin to see the impact of this new leadership as they are sworn in today.
We can only hope that that actually would be the case. And like you said, a number of people have echoed similar thoughts that a lot more ministers actually should have been taken out. I mean, in certain key areas, and others who were actually, should I say, taken to other ministries should not have kept their jobs as it were. But others would say, well, it's a political move at the end of the day. It's politics at the end of the day. And the boat not wanting to be rocked is something that would be very, very important. And one of the ministers coming in is Dr. Jumoke Oduwale, coming in as Minister of Industry, Trade, and Investment. Now, that is one ministry that definitely needs a lot of attention. And she comes in with a very, very high pedigree. Ola, do you see her making a splash, or should we manage our expectations, bearing in mind all the good things or all the amazing things she has done before now coming in?
So you always have to hope. There's always a difference between when you are supporting a minister or supporting an executive and when you are the executive yourself. So with being sworn in, she's empowered to do what she needs to do within her ministry. So I would say I'm expectant. However, you have to understand that the trade and industry, right? So the decisions ministries like the Ministry of Finance would have an impact on her own ministry and her performance, because for us, we are looking for results. We're not looking for we have done, we're able to get the impact that we are so testfully looking for.
Yeah, that is actually very, very important. And like you said, let's see how things play out first. Let them get into office, and then um, results are what Nigeria needs right now. Enough of the "oh, we're going to, we shall," and all that rhetoric. We need to see results. Okay, let's talk about something else that concerns Nigeria, and it's about Nigeria completing first AFC FTA shipment to Kenya. And this was facilitated, and well, the NCS, that's the Nigerian Customs Service, actually successfully facilitated that under the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. What does this mean to the everyday Nigerian out there who is wondering, what are they talking about?
The African Continental Free Trade Agreement is supposed to bring Africa together as an economic bloc. What does that mean? It makes it easy for who has for lack of a better word, economy of scale, meaning who has the ability to produce this thing at a very cheap rate, to sell it to someone in Namibia. And there's and so there'll be what's it called? Benefits, there'll be perks that it'll be easier for you to do. Basically, the African Continental Free Trade Agreement is supposed to make trade cheaper across Africa and open up markets that we would not have been able to have access to before. In African countries is somewhere between 15 to 18%, meaning that if I'm doing 100 trades, only 15 of those are going to other African countries. Most African countries export outside of Africa, right? So when they say that they've successfully done the first trade, it is like a complications because trading across Africa is stressful. The logistics of it is a lot. But what we are saying is that we are beginning to open up those channels of conversation across Africa. Kenya is a major country in the East African side of things. Nigeria is a major country in West Africa. So being able to do that cross-continent trade is a big one for everyone. Now, if you are a business person, what does that mean for you? It means that you should start exploring what opportunities you can take advantage of in East Africa. And there's a channel that has been created for you to export your products, things like that across Africa. So you are getting a bigger market, you access the bigger market. That's basically it. So it's for everyone.
Okay, all right. Thank you for clarifying that, Ola. Let's quickly talk about gas, because I saw the story and I shook my head thinking about all the what ifs. Let's get through this one really quickly. Now, Nigeria wasted an estimated 3,057 megawatts of electricity potential on the back of gas flaring over the past 9 months of 2024. Now, Business Day's findings show that the amount of gas flared in the first 9 months of 2024 could have provided electricity to power more than 3 million homes. Just thinking about that and looking at where we are concerning our electricity problems, the national grid, and so on and so forth. Well, I mean, gas that could have powered 3 million homes. That is massive.
Yes, it is, and it's quite unfortunate. And this is news that needs to be highlighted enough. And these are things that you need to use to assess the minister who is in charge of these things, right? Because this is the actual outcome the kind of outcomes that we are looking for as a nation, especially when gas like the 12.5 kg gas is skyrocketing every day. Think about it. It's such an inconsistent situation because your flare gas skyrocket 18, 19 depending on where you are. So these are the outcomes that we are looking for in terms of leadership, because there is an opportunity there. Ideally, all things being equal, it means that gas prices, that means that cooking gas prices should be at least half. There's a potential cheaper, right? Because somebody is flaring and not getting any revenue from it. If you understand what I mean, that needs to be done. It's actually quite disheartening, especially as people are with no power and the grid collapse and wake up, and then the grid will collapse again and wake up, But there is a lot of work that needs to be done in terms of harnessing our resources. It's actually very, very painful to hear this kind of news, especially when we see the amount of lack and the way prices are skyrocketing.
Yeah, it is. It is rather, rather unfortunate that these are the sort of things that we deal with. I mean, there's so much. It's like, being in the land of plenty, and the resources being frittered away or wasted away and not being utilized properly, and you begin to ask yourself, I mean, how can we be in this position when we have this and that? So this goes back to leadership and doing the right things, pushing the right buttons, and putting the necessary things in place as well. Hopefully, that is something that sooner rather than later will actually be done. Let's keep our fingers crossed and see if that actually happens at the end of the day. Thank you so much, Ola, for joining me this morning on Business
Thank
Express.
you.
Always a pleasure having you on the show.
Bye.
All right, do have yourself a great Monday, and thank you all for being a part of the show this morning. Before we go, let's take a quick message here from Tayo. Tayo says Nigeria operates a highly bloated administration, and we should be collapsing ministries. But what do I know? And as usual, the screening before Senate didn't have an attached portfolio. I'm managing my expectations. Too many heartbreaks in this administration. All right, Tayo, thank you for coming through. We need to call it a morning on the show. Keep it tuned to Smooth 98.1 and the Smooth Breakfast. There's more great music coming your way as we journey along to 7:30, and of course the papers on Freshly Pressed. Ooh.